Hello, everyone. I am Ian Romaker with Culture Hub, and I am here with none other than.
AJ Washington, CEO of PHLOTE.
Absolutely. So, if you just want to introduce yourself, take us through your brand and what you've been working on.
Sure. So yeah, AJ Washington here. So what PHLOTE is, PHLOTE's a decentralized music platform built on blockchain technology, really built to help independent artists. We all realize that the music industry isn't the most fair and transparent. And blockchain technology is here to, really to decentralize and improve fairness across a lot of industries. And we think the music industry is ripe for this type of disruption. We are adamant believers that crypto technology is a way to level the playing field and allow more artists to exist, and as a result, to allow more art to exist in the world, which we're all about.
100%. Because if you look on Spotify, I think they only get the smallest fraction of those streaming numbers. So it's honestly about dismantling the behemoth and giving these independent artists a way to, in a faster way to expedite and be owners, because that's the key.
Right.
Own
Right.
labor, right?
Right. And not only that, but I think the benefits to artists are often documented and easily understood. Just like you said, you can own your rights, right? Which should be a fundamental right in and of itself, but doesn't exist currently in the music industry. You can sell your music, right? Which right now doesn't exist in the music industry. The business model currently is give your product away for free to sell T-shirts, right? Which is completely against any business principle that I've ever learned. The blockchain technology allows artists to get paid immediately, right? So instead of waiting 9 months to 12 months for a royalty system that's complex and unreliable, artists are able to get money right away, right? So there's a lot more benefits, but the collector, right, on the other end, the buyer of music as tokens, is also given some new advantages that they currently do not have. Whereas in blockchain, when you are a buyer and owner of tokens, as the artist grows in popularity, the value of the thing that you hold is an asset and can also grow. So blockchain is, and crypto is really, as it relates to music, is like music stocks, right? And so it really benefits you if you're a curator, if you are someone who's on the verge of what's next in music. This is a great space to be in. Because
PHLOTE, float. Would you say that it allows an artist to raise their rates in a sense?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So we just did an NFT release this past weekend for a producer out of LA named Jansport J. Jansport is super dope. Yeah, Jansport. So Jansport's done, he's got credits with Benny the Butcher and Dom Kennedy and Freddie Gibbs, Snoop, a lot of folks, right? And he's been selling beat tapes every month. Last year he did a beat tape every month for the year. He made more money in a day selling NFTs than he did all of last year through selling beat tape, right? So it's a monumental shift in the way that an artist can monetize their work and their talent. And again, I'd rather buy Jansport's NFT, his first one ever, right, than buy a beat tape. And I rock with his music, right? But if I'm a real fan, I would rather pay, a little bit more for something that's a collectible that can go up in value, that really identifies me as a super fan, versus be a supporter in any other way.
Absolutely. And with that, it's about damn time that these artists and these producers can start getting paid a year's worth in one sale. So on the whole NFT tip, for people who might not know, what are parcels?
Parcels.
Parcels. There we go. Only one L.
Yeah. Parcels. So a parcel is typically associated with the metaverse, right? So the metaverse is they are virtual spaces where you can buy land, and the land that you can buy is segregated into parcels that you can own. You can own this virtual real estate. You can trade this virtual real estate. You can build on this virtual real estate. You can develop it. And typically there are auctions that happen on a pretty regular basis that sell these parcels of land. So, it's about community, right? Community platforms are really the next generation of brand platforms. Company platforms are really built around community. It's really the community, there's really an inverted model that we're heading towards, where the community are the owners of platforms. And that's where we're headed to in Web3, also known as blockchain, and essentially how Float will be organized. We want to be a community owned, user owned platform, which is, what the real true potential of Web3 is. And so we're really excited about exploring this model.
So Web3, that's a very interesting topic. I want you to speak a little bit more about that. And also, you guys have a crypto music design lab.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So Web3 versus Web2. Web2 is the internet as we currently know it. It was a sort of a transition from, Web 1.0, which was, 1997.
Netscape.
Yeah, Netscape, the beginnings of email to Web 2, which was really about the proliferation of information, the easily packaged and shared content and information. Web 3 is really about the ease of financial exchange, and that's what crypto allows for, right? You can monetize your value, I can monetize my value, you can exchange value very efficiently with the use of crypto wallets and crypto, right? That allow us to both package our work and trade it, essentially. What we're doing with the design lab, that's essentially it. We are, really using the design lab to teach artists how to use crypto, right? How to implement these new business models that all creatives must learn how to employ, right? There are new tools, new skills, new resources, new relationships that need to be built by artists in order to successfully navigate through Web3. And the design lab is really designed to help artists, onboard artists into crypto and this technology.
Everyone's heard of the phrase break the internet. What might it mean to melt the internet?
What might it mean to melt the internet? I guess something that's got to be so hot that it like scorches it, right? So yeah, to me, I think it's just I think a couple things can do that. Interestingly, the world is still becoming more digitized and connected to the internet. So between 2014 and 2020, there was like an 84% increase in global internet users.
It was a year for the hackers last year. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But everybody and their mother jumped on the wave in quarantine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so now I think what we're really waiting for, and what's I think about to happen, is this, broad adoption of crypto. Philippines have realized that they can make more money in this crypto game, right?
Yeah.
Converting that to fiat, to dollars, than they can in any other way, right? And so this whole village that's in the middle of nowhere, they have internet in the cafes. Much of a big part of the younger population is playing this game nonstop in order to make money. And I think that is, once people realize that that's possible, I think that's what melts the internet.
Absolutely. What's the Float Accelerator looking like?
Yeah, so the Flow Accelerator is our way to onboard again artists into blockchain, onto Float. And so it's a 4-week design sprint where we work hand in hand with artists to conceptualize, design, mint, market, and sell an NFT project, right? And I think with this technology, the best way to learn it is to be doing it. The accelerator is really just it is what it's a literal definition. It's really used to accelerate knowledge around the space and familiarity with this technology, so that eventually artists when they come through this program can build self-sustaining businesses for themselves, and can go out and as we say, float.
What are some of the most prominent artists that you've worked with? And then also the next question would be, who had the smoothest transition into the NFT game of the artists that you've worked with?
Yeah, Jansport, I think, picked it up really quickly. I think, even the first artist we worked with was independent artist out of Houston named Billy Rax. Billy's super dope. He's like a mix of Travis Scott and Marilyn Manson, probably. So he's tough. And he's been approached by a couple labels, has tried to remain, independent, and came to us right before he was about to release a project with no crypto knowledge, but he had this content that he wanted to release. And he came with also a bunch of assets that traditional artists would not have. So he had 3D assets. He had a video game that he was developing in addition to the music and music related assets like cover art and all that stuff. He had no clue about crypto, and so he came to us kind of ready made for this world because he creates so many different mediums. And he picked it up very quickly, and so we launched an NFT project for him back in April that sold over 200 NFTs. He now is like on the verge of releasing his next one.
And didn't that Billy Rax have like a creature or something that looked like Samara
Right.
from The Ring, like crawling into your screen?
Yeah. So what we did with him was we made, the project was called Creature. It was a collaborative project between him and a Russian producer named White Punk. And the song had the album had 8 tracks. There was a couple of creatures that were made that looked like spiders that had Billy's head and White Punk's head that were sold as NFTs. When you bought the NFT, you got essentially an AR version of these creatures that you could like go anywhere. So it was pretty dope because some of the, buyers would, one dude in Memphis showed it on a bridge, like the big spider, and, people were really engaging with, these AR creatures
Wow,
in a
like
pretty
it's
interesting way.
conceptualized on the internet and it's in person, like it was on an actual bridge.
Yeah. So when you have the NFT, you can essentially point your phone at anything and it shows it in real life as if it was there.
Like a hologram.
Like a hologram. Yeah, exactly. And you can put them anywhere. You can make them as big as a building, or you can make them as small as a real spider.
That's crazy. That's that's something else. Well, I appreciate your time today. Is there any last shout outs or any words you want to send out to the people in the free world?
Yeah, no. Well, one, just appreciate the time, and thanks again for having me on. I'd say if anyone wants to learn more about crypto music, hit us. We're at Team Flote, PHLOTE, on Instagram, or you can go to flote.co and check us out online.